So just imagine the situation wherein you step out for a walk and you're just looking around you. And in London, it's a very common sight to spot plaques. Usually tell you that a certain eminent personality lived in London at a certain place at a certain point of time. They'll probably give you like from this year to this year, this person lived here and worked here. So for instance, on my way to college, there's one street which has Jerome K. Jerome, Vladimir Lenin, and Virginia Woolf. All three personalities like lived on the same road at like different points of time, but it's something that is fascinating for a lay person like me, and I'm like, oh, I've heard of these people and they live here, and you realize that the city had things going on. Most of the historical developments you see, like Lenin obviously was the founder of the Soviet Union, and you see some kind of connection of the founding of the Soviet Union to London, or you think about Virginia Woolf and London, and you see that stuff was being created in London, and that is something that's interesting. So when it comes to Calcutta, there are streets that are named after eminent personalities, and there is a mixture of names of like Indian people, and to a large extent you have the names of the streets in Calcutta reflecting its colonial past, which is why you have Dalhousie Square, you have Elgin Road, and again you have Bipin Pal Road. But the point is, if I'm living on Bipin Pal Road, I don't think Bipin Pal himself lived on that street, or Lala Lajpat Rai himself lived on Lala Lajpat Rai Sarani. So maybe they did, maybe they did not, but one can never be sure. But if you have a plaque in place, then you get to know that this person was operating from this area, or was here physically present doing something and had a more direct connection to the place that has been named after them. One very important observation I've made in Calcutta was while going to school every day. So I had to cross Bijon Setu every day, and at any point of time, if the traffic jam stopped exactly towards the end of the bridge, then I had actually like read up the plaque that is there. I don't know if it can be exactly called a plaque or an inscription, but it spoke about how Bijan Basu, who the bridge has been named after, died, and this was, I have to like read it out again because I don't remember the exact description. So the 35-year-old engineer was returning home from his sister's place in Santoshpur and took the train to Sialdah. A gang of robbers got on the train and attacked fellow passengers. Among them were women who were returning from a wedding ceremony. The women were threatened with knives, and their jewelry and other valuables were snatched away. Basu protested, but the robbers threw him off the train and it killed him. So this entire incident has actually been narrated on that inscription, and I thought that it is one way in which there is an attempt to preserve consciousness, and I think there can be several other plaques set up, because Calcutta is also very, very important historically, especially when you talk about places where people lived. I mean, there are designated places where you have museums being set up, like Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose's house or Rabindranath Thakur's house. You have these places, but you can also have other plaques that tell you that a certain person lived here, even though the building itself in which they lived might not exist. I'm sure if research is done, people will find such areas and they can assign plaques. In London, you'll find several colors of the plaque. So, and the most common one are blue plaques. So that's the most common plaque that you'll see. And I spoke about eminent personalities, and then I also spoke about the description of an event that took place when it comes to Calcutta. So London has those as well. For instance, I have come across two places where you have plaques that tell you that during the Second World War, the Nazi troops had bombarded certain parts of London, and they were like, this wall here had been affected or damaged by the bombing of the Nazi troops. So I found that in 2 different places, and I found that an important thing to be marked, because then you also know that other things were happening in London. Like, that is the entire point. You have to be constantly made aware of the things that were happening, and you constantly think of history, and no better way to do it than coming across these things on your day-to-day activities or your day-to-day life. So yeah, and the blue plaques in London were commissioned by, or are rather commissioned by, an institution named English Heritage. So on the top of the plaque you'll get to see English Heritage written. There are other plaques, like there are black ones and green ones, which you'll see pictures of after this. These plaques have been commissioned by other organizations, but English Heritage commissions the blue plaques, which are the most common plaques you'll see across London. And the blue plaque scheme was started as early as the year 1866.